I think on the final point that I want to finish this off, as I was saying, social media right now is filled with, sex, everything basically that you shouldn't do is basically right now on social media. Instagram.
I think that has gotten me is that my kids are gonna wait a bit to have a cell phone of their own.
I mean, I don't think we should allow them to have social media until they're basically 17, 18.
I didn't have social media until I was like 14, 15 years old.
No, I didn't. I used to be...
I didn't have my first
social media.
cell phone.
Let me explain. It was the AOL chat. I used to use... Again, this is way back. I used to use AOL chat back when I was like 11,
Everybody
10.
used to have AOL chats, but that's not... But that wasn't really social media.
That wasn't social media back then. Everybody had a handle.
Yeah, but it wasn't...
Write me here.
Yeah, but it wasn't like right now.
No, it isn't.
Right.
And I think right now the problem is that everything has become sexualized. Everything has become demoralized. Drugs are okay to do. Drugs is okay to do. Sex is okay to do. Disrespecting people is okay. People don't really respect each other. So, and the note I want to finish is, well, what message would you have to little girls or mothers of little girls that they don't want that debauchery? They want to be correct. They want to do the right things. And obviously, you're a great example of that. What would you tell them as far as like, how can they get to your position or even better?
Well, I think that you have to show your kids with yourself, give them examples of what you want them to do, and show them also with your, the way you want things to be done. If you want your kids to be healthy, show them that they need to be healthy. Work out with them or show them that you work out every day. Give them an example. How do I do it for our kids? Mm-hmm. Well, most of the time when I'm home and Damian sees me working out, he actually goes outside and wants to work out as well. Mm-hmm. So showing them who we want them to be by being you, basically. And
food-wise?
Well, food-wise, I make the food. I'm the one who cooks for my family, right? So I cook them healthy meals. And usually if we buy snacks and stuff like that, most of the time it's, a little bit for the weekend or sometimes, but our pantry is not full of sweets and stuff like that.
I would say mostly actually, my mom usually criticizes it. What do you mean you're feeding your kids like meat and vegetables and stuff? You be feeding them rice and chicken nuggets and this and that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No.
And the funny thing is,
and they eat everything.
Our eldest is 6 and he eats everything. Lettuce, tomatoes,
Emily,
cucumbers, everything.
With Emily, I do the 3 plates, right? I put the meat, then after that, I put the vegetables, and then after that, the fruits. And then finally, if she's still asking me for food, I would be like, here's some yogurt. But she eats everything you put in front of her. So,
and then what would you tell those little girls that say, by any chance, if they ever watch this, or a mom, what would you tell them, what they should they be focusing on so they can also have success?
Focus on you, on yourself, and be healthy. And then everything else will literally fall into place. Because your kids...
I'll disagree with you on that. And that's such a blanket statement.
It's not a blanket statement. Well, specifically, be who you think your kids want to be when they grow up. Right? Be the example for your kids. I like that. Right? I cannot tell my kid, you need to be healthy when I'm, 300 pounds and eating McDonald's every day. You have to be the example.
It's like the doctor that you go in to see and he's like, bro, you're obese and he's also obese, but you know what you need to do is diet and stuff. It sounds so hypocritical.
It does, but like I said, and then sometimes I know your kids will give you a hard time. No, I don't want to eat that. But I think you need to sit down. Miss Puppy, just try it out. It tastes really good. And then when also sitting together, eating together, and, we have our middle child is a little bit...
He's Louis 2.0.
Yep. And he's definitely challenging me every day. He's a challenge every day, But I think that when you sit down with him and you feed him and you teach him and you get him excited about other things, they kind of get excited about eating the vegetables and eating the meat.
And he gives a hard time. So for context, our middle son is a lot like me in a sense of, super hyper. Like, always has to move, always doing stuff he's not supposed to do. giving a hard time, but he listens to discipline in a strong voice. So that's where I come in, because that's exactly what happened to me. My father is a disciplinarian and a tough voice. And obviously it worked for me, so I'm making it work for him. And when he doesn't listen, people, what do? I punish them by making them work out. Which it sounds bad, but it's not. It's great. It helps them stay healthy. And at the same time, it's like, crap, we act up. Dad's going to make us do some hard work. So it's like, it's a positive. It's a net positive. Other than, obviously, I've never once laid a hand on our kids. I really believe we don't have to hit somebody to get the result we want. I think it's about respect and setting boundaries. Now, with that being said, thank you so much for participating. I know you're a little nervous to do this. Hopefully it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be.
I don't like to put myself out there too much. I'm more like a silent, Yeah,
you like to work and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for you to share your experience as well, because this is kind of what I want to make the podcast, guys. I'm not really interested in having conversations with just famous people after famous people. I don't care. I'd rather show the real world, the people who actually make stuff happen, the people who actually move the world.
Don't take away from famous people. I mean, famous people are who they are. They had to start somewhere at the bottom.
No.
But I think what you want to do, you want to have normal people, regular problems,
correct,
kind of thing.
Because I feel like the majority of the spotlight is on celebrities, as opposed to celebrities are a minority. They're not the majority. As opposed to where everyday people who are actually working and getting this country moving and actually producing, they're, like you said, they're really in the silence. They're not really being looked at. And I think it's a good way to show people what they can be in a positive light. Instead of, celebrities, which is the minority, it's harder to become that. And the majority of celebrities nowadays become celebrities through controversy, as opposed to before it was talent. Now it's just controversy. That's what sells nowadays. But problems equals money.
But also it's sometimes it's the routine and the constant hustle and having to do the consistency. Sometimes it's hard. You get those times where you're like,
but that's life.
Exactly. So you just have to find your purpose. Who you want to be, why you want to be that, and who you want to become, and why. You have to find your why.
I think that's the biggest thing.
And I think, what helps me too, that I've been doing for 2 years already consecutive, is my vision board. I know it's weird, but...
Yeah, I don't care for vision boards. It works for her.
It works for me. I'm a visual person. Like, I like to see my goals. Because sometimes when you are constantly in the routine, you don't see
down below for vision boards through Amazon. I'm just kidding. I feel the link. Get some now.
It's important. Well, for me, like I said, visualizing it, because sometimes you're on the hustle and waking up and this, and it's the same routine every day. Sometimes you need to see it to actually just get motivated again. Like, remember what you're doing it, because you lose it sometimes.
I agree.
So
that can be helpful.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I'm gonna give you my hand, but we'll kiss later.